Greetings. This is Justin Allen with the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. I'm sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take a measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Ryan, who is a family nurse practitioner. Currently, he is working full-time in a primary care practice. He's wanting to start a side hustle focusing on men's health, and he eventually wants to grow into a more generalized wellness practice as time goes on. He's needing assistance on where he stands in terms of the business startup process and how to market effectively. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Justin?
I'm good, man. Thanks for hopping on here. Let's get started. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been a nurse practitioner for, and kind of just what you've been doing.
So I have been a family nurse practitioner for a few years now. I've always had an interest in men's health because I was actually pretty early on in my adult life. I was diagnosed with low T and I've been through the process of trying to go through insurance providers to get prescribed stuff. And that was extremely difficult, and ultimately landed at a TRT clinic to continue my care.
So you've been up doing primary care predominantly then, as far as a nurse practitioner goes?
Yes, sir. And then before that, I was doing ER. I've done critical care. I've done PACU. So been here and there a little bit.
I got you. Okay. And you were doing that as an RN, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. How are you liking primary care?
So far, so good. I don't miss the hospital life one bit.
Okay. And you've been doing the primary care for how long?
A few years now.
Okay. All right. So you want to jump into a men's health clinic. You've taken the course, so you have a basic understanding. So I guess where are you at with the startup process?
So I've formed my LLC. I have my EIN, my articles of formation, operating agreement. Obviously I already have an NPI and a DEA license. One thing I need to do is get malpractice insurance. And I saw on your website that you prefer the CMF group for HRT coverage and telemedicine, which is primarily what I want to do. But, I had mentioned to you when we were emailing that I don't have the income right now to support having a physical location. So I was going to do initial visits in-home and then manage them from telemedicine after that.
I got you. Okay. So you basically just have really just a legal structure set up. You haven't really done anything else.
Correct.
So clinically, you feel okay doing it. I mean, you're on testosterone yourself. You've taken the course. Like, you feel comfortable with that for the most part.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So this is mostly just more of a business thing. So where are you thinking about in terms of going here? Like, I mean, you obviously need a website, right? I mean, that's kind of like the foundation of this. So Have you got anything up and running yet? You put much thought into this?
I actually was going to hold off on a website because my area, even though it's rural, it's pretty high income. There's actually 7 gyms in our county. And I was going to first go around to there because I know people basically from every gym. I have good relationships with a lot of the police officers in my county who are interested in TRT. And then in another county, I have a friend who has a supplement store inside of a gym with 2,000 members, and he was going to let me market right there. So I was going to get your thought. I want to see how far I can get this kind of with just word of mouth before I go putting a website out there. You know what I mean?
Sure. Listen, man, I mean, the episode previous to this one, these people are killing it from word of mouth alone. Okay. You can do very well with word of mouth. Okay. If you have some connections, you can get in with certain people within your target market, your demographic, then, that's probably the most powerful form of marketing is word of mouth. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
So you could make it work, but you got to have a website, dude. Like you got to have a website. Okay. Like in today's age, if your business doesn't have a website, it's red flags in people's mind. They're like, why isn't this person have a website? Like, what the
Yeah.
hell
I guess they don't take you seriously.
They don't take you serious. Correct, man. So like you need a website. You don't need anything crazy. You just need something. I mean, you could go on Wix or GoDaddy or whatever and just make your own. Okay. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on this, a couple $100, spend a Saturday afternoon making it, put some pictures on there, list your services, an about you section. Like, look at other men's health clinic websites and kind of use it as a template as a reference for yours. Okay. Yeah. So you got to have a website. It doesn't matter if it's word of mouth or not. Have the website. Okay. If you're going to do anything, have the website. So this word of mouth thing, I guess tell me a little bit more about this. You said you have some ins with some gyms, some police officers, that sort of thing. So what have you thought about doing to, get patients?
The gym that I currently go to, like it's a privately owned gym, so it's not like your world gym or anything like that. So they do allow some public advertising, and then it's always generally busy. So I feel like I feel like I could go in there and wear a T-shirt with my phone number and TRT, call this number.
Okay.
Even put some business cards. I would eventually like to have some signs up,
like in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what about the police officers?
The police officers, well, I know them through the gym. So that, I mean, they kind of already know that this is in the works. It's just a matter of, getting everything started and going from there.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good start. I mean, you only need just a handful of patients, and then those people know people, and then it kind of just, snowballs from there. Have you contacted the gyms about doing this?
There's been 2 that I've been in contact with already.
Okay, and they gave you the go ahead?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, if you can go, get in with those other 5, I mean, dude, that's probably honestly about all you're going to need to do.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And then the police officers getting in with them. And then hopefully, once you get a few police officers in, they usually, tell everyone else. And yeah, it usually results in pretty solid word of mouth. I mean, I think that's a pretty solid strategy. It should cost you very little, if anything.
Yeah. So that's what I was kind of going for. Like if I could establish a base to, have some money coming in, that way I could then justify, getting a physical location and then definitely start to pump out, just more general advertising.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any competition in your area at all for this?
I have 0 competition. There's 3 counties that I could easily access that there's no competition whatsoever.
No men's health clinic whatsoever.
None.
I mean, you're in a good position then. Don't give off your location during this, okay?
Yeah, that was my plan. And then about 45, 50 minutes away, there is some men's health clinics, but they are outrageously priced, like $400 per month.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's just price gouging. That's ridiculous. Okay, so I mean, you're in a pretty good position here, dude. All this is going to take is just for you to just get the word out, and it should grow pretty quick. Don't discredit a few ads elsewhere either. A Google search ad or something might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, how does that work with not having a physical location? Because I've listened to a lot of your podcasts, and there's always the issue where people say that they don't have like a actual physical location and they can't get their listing.
Yeah, the Google business listing. Yeah. That Google business listing is so important, especially during the startup phase. It's something that's so easy that allows people to find you. We use it on a daily basis, just about, right? You hop on your phone, you type in, Chinese restaurant near me, boom, it pops up, right?
Yeah.
So it's such an important step. Like it's above your website. It's probably one of the most important things that you can do. Surely to God, if you're in a rural area or something, surely to God, you could find something that's just dirt cheap. A one little office thing that costs a couple $100 a month just so you have an address,
Yeah.
Have you looked into this?
I have a little bit. There is a location that I was looking at, and it was like $500 a month, I think, for like 300 or 400 square feet. So I don't even know if it's enough for like an exam room or a waiting room and stuff like that.
Okay. And you said it was at $500 a month?
Yeah.
It's nothing, dude. I mean, like just having that just for your Google listing itself is probably worth it. I mean,
one of my buddies, he actually owns a home servicing business, and I was going to see if I could like share an address with him, but not actually have my physical office location. I don't know if that would change things for me.
I mean, you could use that address.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think, my medical cannabis clinic, I don't have a physical office anymore. I just do it out of a dispensary.
Okay.
And they were like, yeah, you can use our address for your Google business listing. And I did it, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll have the few connections that I have. And like I said, a buddy of mine owns a supplement store at a gym. And that's one of the gyms that are already said yes. And they have 2,000 members. So,
Man, if you could just rent a little small room out of there.
yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah. If you could find somewhere for a couple $100 a month to have one room, it's really going to help you out getting those first patients.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend it if you can. I know you're on a budget, but
Right.
A couple $100 a month is really nothing. You're going to make that from just one consult.
Yeah.
I would recommend to do that if you can. Now, since you're on more of a budget, you certainly can just do telemedicine only for the first few months. So use your contacts, make some revenue, make some money, have a website though. Okay. You got to get that website made. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to get the website. Okay. $150 or whatever it is, go to Wix, get the website, man, make it, have that, and then start the word of mouth. Do that for a few months, start making some money. Let that money sit in your business bank account. Don't touch it. Okay. Use that money to then invest into the business. So now you can be, a big boy, so to speak. Like now you can have like a real business, like an actual office and, start spending a little bit more money on some marketing and that sort of a thing. I mean, I'm not saying that a small telemedicine business like this isn't a real business. It is. But if you are in somewhere, 3 counties and there isn't a men's health practice, man, having a physical location, something that people can actually go to, somewhere you can have a Google business listing, like you can do, more procedural stuff out of like an IV infusion or whatever. I mean, it would help you grow significantly.
Yeah.
I think hybrid practices are the best way to go.
Definitely.
Yeah. And with the DEA changes too, you have to see the patient at least one time in person and that sort of a thing. It'll help mitigate that as well.
Yeah. And like I told you, I plan to start just by going to people's homes. And I think, I don't think they'll look down on that too much because it almost is like a convenience thing for them. Like I'm coming to them. So then it almost justifies the prices that I want to charge and things like that.
Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts about all of that?
Oh, no, I definitely do want to have a location ultimately at the end of the day. Like, you're right. If I want to expand to just more than doing TRT and ED meds, then physical location is going to be necessary.
It is. Yeah, for sure. For sure. How much money do you got to spend on this? I'm just curious. Like how much money you had to invest in this? It sounds like you're on pretty strict budget here. So I'm just kind of getting an idea.
I have money available if I want to make it available. I have, 20 grand sitting in the stock market. But who knows? I don't know if that's the safest place to be right now.
You probably lost a lot today.
Yeah, it's actually not too bad. But I definitely have some money that, if need be, I can pull it out.
Okay, I got you. All right, but you don't want to, preferably.
Yeah, I mean, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I'll weigh the benefits and the risk, and if I end up going that direction, it wouldn't hurt my feelings to pull the money out.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, dude. You will be able to make a lot more money in your business than you will in the stock market. I can guarantee you that.
That's what I'm thinking. Funny you say that though. Like the couple retirement accounts that I had, they're just losing money because and they're managed by a fund. And then I'm doing it myself too. And like I've read books on it and stuff like that. And I did 10% last year when my fund managed accounts lost 25. So it's like I could do it better than them. But you're right, money's probably better towards a business.
Yeah, man. Paying someone to manage your money is always a waste of money. It's like they don't know anything that you don't know. I mean, just throw this stuff in some index funds and let it sit there, like it's not rocket science. But yeah, I think that you putting your money into a business is going to have far greater returns, man. Think about this for a second. Let's just use $10,000 because it's a nice round number. So let's say you put $10,000 into your business. Mm-hmm. That $10,000 can sit in the stock market. Let's say it's in a couple index funds and it earns, let's just say we have a fantastic year in the stock market. A fantastic year in the stock market is typically 10% return, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good year, right? 10%.
Yeah.
That's $1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo. Does that change your life? Doesn't change mine. Now, if you invest that $10,000 into your business, on the other hand, that $10,000 can turn to $10,000 a month.
I mean, it's a whole year of rent at a dirt cheap place.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, we're talking like
maybe even 2 years.
Significant returns, dude.
Yeah.
Like 100%, 200% returns. My second men's health practice, I just know these numbers off the top of my head. It cost me about $7,500 to start that.
Yeah.
And we're generating like 35,000 a month now, just after a couple of years. There's no way you're getting that return in the stock market. No way.
No.
So I guess, instead of going in this low budget mindset, it might not be a bad idea. Maybe pull $5,000 out and do this right.
Okay.
Right from the get go, dude, I would.
Yeah.
You're telling me you have 3 counties around you with no competition at all. You have ins at gyms. You have the ins with the police department. Like, you're set up for success here. I just don't see how this could fail.
Yeah.
Unless you're an idiot with it,
Yeah.
I don't think, and it doesn't sound like you are. So if you get anything out of this call, dude, that's my big recommendation. Pull $5,000 to $10,000 out and invest
in myself. Yeah.
Invest in yourself, dude, because you're the one that has control over it, not some bank that just collapsed. You have no control over that.
Yeah.
Thoughts or anything on?
I totally agree with you because I was watching the stocks today and I was like, man, I should just sell some of these.
Well, never sell when it's dropping, dude.
Yeah.
I would say if you have a portfolio, some stocks or whatever, I would say try to sell the ones that are either up or, flat. Don't sell the losers, because when you sell the losers, that's when you actually do lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any other thoughts on that?
No, I agree with you. I think I should pull the money out and go for it.
I think so, dude. I think you'll make more money with investing in yourself and your business than you ever will in the stock market,
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just say worst case scenario. You lost $10,000 in your business. It's not the end of the world, right? Like, it sucks. Losing $10,000 is never fun,
Right.
But it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And I don't think you have much risk here, to be honest with you. I really don't, dude. So I guess any other specific questions about, the startup phase of here? I mean, I know you took the course, so you have the steps. Were there anything that you, I guess, had questions about or need some guidance on?
Setting up pricing. I was thinking like charging around $100 per month for a membership, like a monthly membership. And then you recommend doing like 50 to 100% on marking up medications.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anyone just do like a prescription fee instead of marking it up, where you purchase the medications for the patient, they get delivered to the house? Have you ever just provided a prescription and then done like a prescription fee, or do you know of anyone doing that? That's actually what one of the TRT clinics around here does.
Yeah. I know plenty of people who've done that before. Patients can usually feel a little nickel and dimed on that model.
Okay.
They're like, I'm just paying this, I'm paying this asshole $50 a month for a prescription. So the patient might see a little bit less value in it, but it is feasible. I knew a nurse practitioner that was doing that. I think it was like $50 a month is what he was charging, 50 to 75. And he would basically then call the prescription to Walgreens or whatever. Then you just went and paid cash for it, or use your insurance or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like, it works, but like I said, patients can feel a little, a little nickel and dime from it.
Okay.
What's your hesitation about using a compounding pharmacy?
Well, my only issue is like, if I don't have a physical location, I don't know if I'm allowed to be holding, an abundance of controlled medication in my home.
Remember, you're not holding the compounding pharmacy shipping it directly to their house.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. If I'm going to be dispensing it as well.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that from a mobile aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're going to be storing that in your house, which means your DEA number needs to be tied to your house, which means the DEA can come in and inspect your house whenever they want.
Yeah.
It's probably not a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're going to do mobile telemed only, you have to use a compounding pharmacy or call the prescription into Walgreens or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't give injections in the home, because that means that you're going to have to store the testosterone in your car, in your house, and your DEA number has to be attached to where you store or dispense the controlled substance.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening, and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all elite nurse practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free, and the other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode. just use compounding pharmacies or just call in the script. But
Okay.
again, calling in the script can eat into your margins. And like I said, some people might find it to be less valuable.
Yeah. And then I plan on using like Empower, Wells, Hollandale, TaylorMade, and just setting up accounts with them. They let you negotiate prices.
If you have the volume to back it up.
Okay. Gotcha.
If you don't, you kind of just got to accept their prices at first. Anyone listening to this, like if you're just starting out, there's really not a whole lot of wiggle room for price negotiation on most of this stuff. It's only when you have volume and a track record, then you can negotiate prices.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then have you figured out anything to solve the HCG issue, or are you just doing Clomid for like testicular support?
Yeah, just Clomid, man. I mean, you can do Pregnal, the pharmaceutical brand for HCG. It's just so much more expensive.
Yeah, I was doing that.
Yeah, it's expensive. I'm just doing Clomid. I really don't have very many guys complaining about it.
Okay. And you haven't noticed like any changes with fertility?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool.
No, I have patients that actually complain to me sometimes. You told me I'd be infertile. I'm like, no, I told you it decreases your fertility. I didn't tell you it makes you infertile. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not my fault you impregnated your wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was planning on doing simple charts, just because if I'm doing the compounding pharmacies, then there's really no need for me to have like a e-scripts.
No, not really. It's nice to have, whenever you prescribe something at a pharmacy. Like, I mean, every once in a while, you might prescribe someone like blood pressure medication or something, but, that's not going to happen very often. You can just call it in, But yeah, if you're using a compounding pharmacy most of the time, then the EMR that you use really doesn't need to have a e-prescribe function on it.
Okay. And then as far as malpractice goes, I know I've seen on your website and your blog, CMF group, is that the one that you typically will go with, or have you found anyone that will do telemed and hormone replacement therapy?
Yeah, okay. So Wellness Medical Protection Group is our preferred vendor for malpractice. They should write a specific policy for what it is that you're doing. But CM&F Group should cover you for what you're doing as well. The difference is between CM&F Group and something like, what a broker can get you is that a broker's policy should be specific to the service that you're providing. So it's actually like written into your policy. A policy through CM&F Group just covers you for what is within your scope of practice.
Okay.
Basically, what that means is that CM&F Group's not going to cover you for you trying to, do a cholecystectomy. You know what I mean? That's what that means. Like, they're not going to cover you for trying to do a vasectomy on someone. Like, that's not within your scope, Yeah. But like hormone replacement therapy and weight loss and stuff, I mean, that should be within your scope.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, that was the other question. I don't have a non-compete clause, but at the same time, like I was going to see what your recommendation is on telling your employer. Would you just write it out as long as you can without telling them, or
you're damn right?
Just
why stir the hornet's nest when you don't need to?
That was kind of where I was standing. But
if there is no non-compete clause in your contract, you are not legally bound, nor is it their business to tell them.
Yeah.
As soon as you tell them, only problems are going to arise out of that. You know that.
Yeah. And then how does it work? Because the 3 counties are relatively close together. How does it work if, say, I end up getting a patient that goes to my primary care office and then wants to come to me for this?
So you're seeing the patient for primary care and they come see you at your men's health clinic?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you didn't actively solicit them, I don't see an issue.
Okay.
They just happen to know about it, then they just happen to know about it. I mean, when you start soliciting patients and stuff, then problems can arise.
Yeah.
Look in your contract, see there's a non-solicitation clause.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there might be that. If there's that, you can't do that. But if they find you, they find you. I mean, prove it. Prove I didn't solicit them,
Definitely.
Any other questions about that?
No.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I don't think I have anything else that I can think of off of the top of my head, other than how would you go about eventually branching out to other states? I know that's probably in the distant future, but
no, not necessarily. I mean, listen, dude, you might not need to. A lot of nurse practitioners, they're starting businesses, they're like, how do I expand to other states and how do I grow? When in reality, you don't need to. Like, you're going to be the only men's health clinic in 3 counties. What's the population of those 3 counties? Estimate.
Between the 3 of them, there's probably at least 200,000.
So you're in a pretty rural area then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you have 200,000 people. So that's 200,000 people within a 30-minute radius of, where you might open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So these are pretty small counties.
Yep.
You're going to be the only kid in town here, basically, right? You have 200,000 people. Dude, that is more than enough to start $1 million practice.
Okay.
Like you might not need to, you know?
Right.
So I would say don't think too much on that right now. I would say that, maybe when you cross that bridge in a couple years, cross that bridge. But right now, I feel like that you focusing just on, your general area is probably going to be more than enough businessman to satisfy you.
Okay.
What's your ultimate goal here?
I've thought about it in multiple ways. Like if this just is a side hustle and it's bringing in extra income, I don't think I would be dissatisfied with that. But ultimately, like I would like it to be, replace hopefully my wife and my own income.
Yeah. So you want to turn into a full-time thing eventually.
Eventually, yeah. But like I've heard people on your podcast say they work like 10, 15 hours a month and they're making, 15, 20,000. So if I was only working 15 hours a month, I would probably still keep my full-time job.
Well, fair enough. But if you went full time into it, just imagine how much you could make.
Yeah.
I make a pretty healthy amount of money through my men's health clinic, and I don't really work that much at it. But if I didn't have the other nurse practitioners working for me, I would be working a lot more.
Okay.
And I would pretty much double I would double the amount of money I make.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I was working full time somewhere else and still only doing, 4 to 6 hours a week at my men's health clinic, it wouldn't make sense for me paying other nurse practitioners to work for me if I was working full time. Like it would make sense for me to quit my full time job and go straight in, full time with my business, right?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Okay.
Like it might turn into a full time thing for you.
Okay.
You're going to make more money and be more professionally fulfilled working for yourself than you ever will working for anyone else.
Right.
So I guess it just depends on what your goal is. I mean, if you want to make an extra $10,000, $15,000 a month, plateau there and just never grow it from there, while working full time, fine, great. But I think what'll happen is you'll get to a point where you're like, I'm turning business away. This is just stupid.
Right.
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep that in mind there for sure. Yeah. Any other questions about, maybe like eventual growth?
No.
I know you talked about maybe, eventually transitioning over into just more of a general wellness practice instead of just being focused on men's health. So tell me about kind of your thoughts on that.
Well, I would like to definitely do women's hormone replacement as well. The IV therapy is always interested in me, but I don't really know too much. To be honest, I don't know too much about the different services offered. Like I know they'll do vitamin C and things like that.
That's why you get an IV course.
Yeah, definitely. But definitely my area of comfort is more so the male hormone things. And I know women's TRT is pretty similar. I don't know if you do it for women, but
I do.
It's like essentially 1/10 of the dose generally is from what I understand.
Very small amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if your eventual goal is to be, do that, then I think that's I think it's a realistic goal. Do you have much competition in terms of women's HRT or IV infusion and stuff?
It's not much in my area.
Are there any other weight loss clinics in your area within the 3 counties?
There's one, but they're not private. It's affiliated through the hospital, so it's likely all insurance based.
So, okay, wait a second. There's no like wellness style kind of weight loss clinics in your area either that you know of?
Oh, one county over, yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It's still a pretty barren option. If people want to try that stuff, they're looking at traveling at least 45 minutes to an hour to go to the city.
Dude, you are sitting on an absolute gold mine here for multiple things. Like, I'm wondering if you should really narrow in yourself just to men's health here. Like, weight loss is huge.
Yeah, and Empower will do Ozempic and everything like that too, right?
Correct, man. And there's other compounding pharmacy options as well. Yeah. Consider it, dude. I mean, really put some thought into it. I mean,
that's why when I sent you over my name and I just made it, general, and then the second portion of the name is HRT, but I feel like my name won't limit me too much if I just advertise it right.
I mean, it kind of limits. I mean, when you see a clinic called, whatever wellness or whatever HRT or whatever hormone replacement therapy, and you're advertising weight loss, there's kind of a disconnect there. So you might want to do something a little bit more generic. It just depends. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. Like you could start a weight loss clinic and probably make more than you would with just men's health alone.
Okay.
So it depends on where your incentive and your motivations are. If your motivation's income, going weight loss might be the better option because now you're going to hit both male and female. And there's a really high demand for it right now. And there will continue to be a high demand for it. So from a strictly income standpoint, you might be better off doing weight loss. But if you did men's health and weight loss, then I think that'd be okay. Or if you just did just general HRT and weight loss, more of like a wellness type practice instead, that might be successful as well. Just because the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because you have no competition. And so I hate for you to give up a great opportunity.
Okay. I'm assuming I could just do like a DBA.
You could do a DBA under it or whatever. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. You can call it, whatever, health and wellness clinic. And then underneath it have a subheading, men's health, women's health, and weight loss. So, I mean, dude, if you have these ins with the gyms and this sort of a thing, you might want to throw some feelers out there about, semaglutide, phentermine, weight loss therapy, weight loss treatment options, and that kind of a thing as well. The name of the game here, man, is you provide what people want. You deliver the demand.
Yeah.
And so throw out feelers out there and deliver the need, deliver the demand.
Okay.
But it sounds like you're in a pretty awesome place right here.
Yeah, like I said, it's rural, but it's higher income.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And they're smaller counties, so it's really not that rural.
Right.
I mean, a 30-minute drive's not that much, especially just for a one-time visit, and the rest of it's just telemed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you're looking for a location, I would pick maybe one of the bigger towns in those 3 counties and try to find something on a main road. $500,000 a month. I think it'd be a worthwhile investment for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I think so. I think you've answered everything. I really appreciate your help.
You're welcome. I like to end the episodes with you asking me a question. You have any questions for me?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Yeah. I like how you're just straight to the point here. Yeah. This was a pretty quick episode. So yeah. Well, I'm glad I helped you out, man. I think that you're in a fantastic position here. There's no competition. I think you're going to kill it. I think that take some of that money out of the stock market, invest it in yourself. It's the best investment you can make. And man, take command of the situation, dude. Like no one's offering this. So you better get in on it before someone else does.
And that's why I was almost nervous about doing your podcast, because I know a few friends that have liked you on Facebook. And I'm like, I better get on this.
Get on it, dude. Yeah. I mean, and if they didn't listen to you, like someone's going to eventually come in and do it.
Yeah.
They're going to. Like it's going to happen.
Right. It's going to happen. Yeah.
It's going to happen, man. And then you will regret it for the rest of your life.
Yep.
You'll be like, damn it, I should have did that. And I didn't. And now look at them killing it over there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So cool. Awesome. Well, hey, listen, man, I appreciate your time. And if you ever want to do a follow-up, just let me know.
Absolutely. And it's cool if I still email you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Awesome. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Take care. Bye. All right, hope everyone enjoyed that quick episode with Ryan. He was kind of a straight to the point guy. We originally went into that episode with him wanting to be on a very, very low budget. He didn't really have a whole lot of money to spend on this and that sort of a thing. So you want to stick telemedicine only, not even have a website, not spend any money on marketing or anything, and just do word of mouth. That's fine. Word of mouth is probably one of the best ways to market. I mean, it really is, okay? I mean, I know the previous episode, Tammy and Becky, those 2 girls that started their practice were absolutely killing it off word of mouth alone. So it can be done. But I guess the point here is that being scared of investing in your business is a dumb fear, okay? Your money in the stock market, a good year might be 5 to 10%. You're going to make more than that with your business. I guarantee it, okay? A business is the best investment that you can make. And after talking with Ryan just for a few minutes, he realized that. He's like, why do I have this $20,000 sitting in the stock market? It's losing value. It goes up and down and up and down. And in a good year, it might be 10%. So off $20,000, he might make $2,000. I mean, $2,000 doesn't really change your life. Starting a business that generates $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month, that changes your life, okay? So if you're on the fence of starting your business or reinvesting money back in your business for it to grow, it's the best investment you can make. I guarantee it. All right, hope everyone enjoyed that episode. Talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and/or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.